Alright, welcome back to Adobe Dreamweaver CC. In this tutorial we're going to go over the introduction to CSS, Cascading Style Sheets. So in Dreamweaver, this is where we left off last time. Remember, we're developing our portfolio type website, and I added this information. You can add your own information. Basically, I have the header, the nav, the h1 tag, the h2, the paragraph, and the footer. And you can see that a little clearer in the live view when we click on each section. So when you click on a section, it'll give you a little indication that that's a header, that's the nav, that's the h1, that's h2, paragraph, and so forth, all the way down in the footer. Alright, so it's time to link some CSS to this file. Remember, this is HTML. We've created in the previous tutorials, but now we need to add some style. So let's do this. Let's go over to the CSS designer. You may have the insert or the files from last time. We linked the files here. Under CSS designer, we want to add a new source. So if you click on here, it says add a new CSS source, and that's basically what we want to do. If you click on the little plus symbol, you can do that, or you can click in here. Either one will work. And right here it'll say create a new CSS file, attach existing, or define in page. So we want to link it. We don't want a define in page because that'll define it in this actual file. We're actually going to create a new CSS file. So by clicking that, and basically we can call it styles.css. And where are we going to put this? We're going to link it. We're going to click browse. We want it to be inside this web page project, okay? So we want it to be in the same area where the index is that you have created. So whatever folder you called it, you want to do the same thing. And so I'm going to call it styles.css and click save. Once I do that, I'll click OK. Again, I want to make sure link is checked here and just click OK. And just like that, we have created a linked CSS. You can actually see it right here in the metadata. So right below meta, which is below the title, which it says right here, link CSS style sheet. And if we actually look here next to the source code, we have this thing called CSS Styles, which currently just has this top indicator here, but doesn't have any style applied yet. So let's apply some style. So in live view, I'm going to click on the educator artist, or actually, let's start with heading 1, the art of James Kleckner. So the H1, the first thing you need to do with styles is you need to make things into selectors. Well, the selectors are actually right here, the H1, the H2, the paragraph text. You just have to define that in the selector category here. So in here, we just click the little plus symbol, and what will happen is it'll basically choose the h1/body. And if I move this down here a little bit and click out, the reason why it's saying body is because we're actually in the body tag here. If you look here to h1, we can clean this up a little bit and just make it a little bit better by double clicking on it and get rid of the body part, and just basically just have the h1 as the tag here. So now it's a little clearer. You can actually see as I click on it, it's selected here. Alright, so not selected, selected. Now let's add some properties. So down here in the properties area, or click once on it, and you can check this little box that says show set, or and you'll see here what will happen if you uncheck it or check it. And basically these are all the properties you can apply, and there's a ton of them, and they go by, if you hover over these areas, layout, text, border, background, and more. So let's play around with text properties since we're talking about h1 tags. So you click on that, and basically what it does is it moves you down to the text area. So you can slide down these areas here just by dragging a little slider here, or you can just click on the text. So the first thing I want to think about is maybe the font family, right? And click in here. There's a default font here, but you can click on here and you can see all these different fonts here to choose from. So if you want the Baskerville, and you can see the effect there of that. You can also click in here and choose these other ones, or you can click on Manage Fonts, and that will open up the Adobe Edge Web Fonts, and you can choose fonts from in here, which is also pretty cool. So if you like a particular font that you want to search through, you can search through here. You can also search by serif or sans serif fonts, just by clicking on them. So here's the serif fonts, and here's the sans serif, and you can kind of go through and decide which ones you want to add. So if I wanted to, I don't know which font I would like for this, but I'm going to just scroll through here a little bit. So I just paused while I was looking through these different fonts here, and I think I like this Alerta one. And to basically include this, all you gotta do is click the little checkbox on the top right. If you wanted other ones, you can click in here, and then once you've checked them, you can even check in different areas here. So if there was a particular one you liked, I don't know, like this Adamina, you click done, and then what will happen is in here, as you click, you'll see those two that I just added. Okay, so I think I'm going to have for the H1 tag the Adamina here, and as I click on that, you'll see it is updated here, the art of James Kleckner. I can then basically adjust different things here. So there's a font weight here I can set. There's the color of the text. There's lots of different properties you can do here. So I can click in here and type in maybe 800 just to double it up and see what that looks like. You can see it gets a little bit crisper, a little bit darker. I mean, that's what's kind of cool about some of these fonts, is that you can adjust the font weight and make it just a little stronger. So there's lots of different properties. Font size, you can click in here. So we can work on M's. M's are basically the standard for if you're designing sites that are basically responsive design. So if you're going to work mobile, desktop, tablet, and so forth. So if I type in 2 M's here, you'll see how it updates here. Which for a heading one, that's looking okay. I could go, let's see, maybe even 3, and click enter, and you can see what that looks like there. It's a little big, so I might get somewhere in between. So maybe like 2.5 M's, and that looks a little better for a heading one. But you can see there's tons of other, you can do like text shadow and so forth. There's just lots and lots of different little properties here. Now, right now, if we go to the text, there's also, as we scroll down here, so next you can adjust, say, the alignment of this text. So under text align, you can go to center, and you'll see how it looks there. Or you could justify left, or justify right, or basically justify altogether, which is spread it out. I think I'm going to have it in the center there. And then as I scroll down here in my scene here, it's next I want to select the H2 tag, and I have to make it again a property. So this is sort of the process you go through. We're going to make it a selector, so I'm going to click on add selector. Again, it comes with a body tag, but you don't have to keep that. Again, it's just a fact because it's inside the body, that's why it's showing up there. So now I have the H2 tag that I have selected, and the first thing I want to do is go to text, and again change the font family. So clicking in here, I'm going to switch it back to the Adamina, so I got the same sort of font family. The weight I think can go a little bit higher, but not quite 800, so maybe like 500. Let's try that. It should update on there. Let's see, maybe even a little bit higher. Let me go 600. 600 is a little better, but I think it's a little too strong. So I'm going to have it. I'm going to go 550. That looks pretty good. Font size, again, I'm going to switch to the M's. And I'm going to switch it. You can basically click and drag here. It's like a little slider. But I'm going to type in 1 M's to start with. And let's look at that. And it definitely needs to be bigger, so maybe like 1.5 maybe M's. And that looks pretty good for a heading 2. The last thing I want to point out real quick, I forgot to mention, is that your styles are here, and look, there they are. So there's your H1 tag. It actually says the font style, the font family, and you can come in here and edit this on the fly. So if I wanted to make this, now I don't want this to be 800, but if I wanted to, I could do that and click out, and it would update as I click in here. You would see once I switch back from the live view to the design view, it updates there on the fly. So I want that H2 tag though to be 550. So let's click in here and redo that, 550, click out, and click back in here, and you'll see it adjusts on the fly there. Yeah, at this point we're ready to go. We just basically have to save all. So go to File, and you want to get in the habit when you have multiple documents open, HTML, CSS, to do save all, not save as, but save all, and that will save your styles and your HTML code. So that's it for this basic introduction to Dreamweaver CSS. See you soon in the next tutorial. Cheers.